Hello, I'm suddenly a VTuber and we're gonna not address that and it's just gonna be a thing. Anyway, today we will be looking at all the paintings I've made so far this summer, just because it's nice to have a recap for me to look back on, and also because I think it is worth looking at what I've been up to without direction of my peers or teachers. And I think it's fun to analyze my own work. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of analyzation and critiquing my own work today. I hope you enjoy. I made quite a lot of work, even though summer is not even over yet. It's July right now, so I still have all of August pretty much. I started kind of with this painting, and this is Isaac Wood. It's called Isaac Wood singing Say It Ain't So by Weezer at Haltern Pop Festival, which is exactly what it sounds like. I mean, that's what it's based on. I've been playing with this idea of like borders and other overlays of paintings, because I feel like my paintings are often very realism and based in reality, and I think it's interesting to add elements to that are very clearly not based in the here and now and in the physical world, and it gives a kind of, I don't know, a kind of digitalization to it, which I like. So I've been trying to do more of that, which this is an example of as well. I don't know, it's kind of more cartoonish in vibe. I also kind of made him super long because of the frame. I tried to make that effect of like elongation way more prominent, but it's kind of not prominent, I think. Not as prominent as I would like. Overall, I like this painting, but it's maybe not my favorite. Moving on to our next painting I made. This one's called Devour, because they're kissing. Oh my god. I don't know, I think the biggest thing that bothers me in this painting is like over here type area. I don't know, I feel like the brush strokes are a little bit too much, whereas here I quite like it. I have been trying to utilize brush strokes in my work more often recently, because I used to just make everything super soft and like very smooth, but I kind of like having directional brush strokes kind of indicate form, so I've been trying to do more of that. Overall, that's kind of all I have to say about this painting. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it sets a mood. Next, this is not in chronological order, by the way, so this is like my most recent painting at this point in time. Like, so this will be kind of all over the place, but it's okay. We'll cope. You'll cope, actually. I will also cope, but mainly you'll cope. It's a gun. Yeah, it's kind of the thing again of like overlaying like digital elements or very like graphical elements over pretty realistic images. It's kind of popular these days, to be honest, or at least I've noticed a trend where people are doing more of that sort of where people are doing more of like internet culture and like, I don't know, kind of almost analytical like graphics and data. It's kind of like cyber sigilism type situations overlaying realistic images, and I found I quite like that, and I think that it has a certain charm to it. But obviously I want to make it my own as well, so it's kind of hard to find a balance in like following trends and staying like original, but I think I'm doing fine. I mean, I'm right, I'm doing fine. Overall, I really like this painting. I was originally gonna go for to make the target red, but I chose green instead, and I quite like that. I feel like it's, I don't know, it's very contrasting in a weird way with the rest of the painting, in a good way, which I really enjoy. Next up, we have this one, which is called Aftermath. I really like this painting, to be honest. I really like the reference picture I found for it. I thought it was a beautiful picture, with a lot of like, I don't know, really paints a scene without showing very much. One thing I have heard about this painting is that the thumbs are on like the wrong side if you were to want this to be a POV view. I honestly didn't really think about that, and I don't really care to make it seem either way. I just thought it was an interesting image. I don't know if you can tell or if anyone can tell, but the blue is like a person in a like hospital, like doctor's gown. I don't know. I feel like that's my only gripe with this painting, is that I'm not sure if that comes across, and I'm not sure if the white, which are gloves, comes across as much as I wanted it to, as like a person in gloves, like holding the hands. I feel like I could have done more to make it seem that way. Overall, nice painting. I like this one. I was proud of this one. Now we're getting into the real shit. This one is kind of an exercise in trying to find ways to make meat a universal sign for bodies, which is still something I'm struggling with, but I'm trying to keep thinking about. I don't know, I'm kind of trying to keep thinking about my art practice during this summer vacation, and it's kind of hard when you have no one to talk to about it, so you kind of have to do all the work yourself, which is quite hard because I don't know, it's meant to be a mental challenge for me and to hear other people's perspective and opinions, so it's kind of hard to do all that yourself. But that's why I do little exercises like this, where I really try to focus. Like all the other paintings, sure, they were centered around the theme of bodies, but they weren't explicitly exploring anything. They were mainly just nice compositions for the most part. But this one is a little bit more. It's a little bit more me trying to like capture a certain feeling or expression in what it means to have a body and what it means to be flesh. I didn't really like this painting. I thought it could be more realistic, but I also kind of like the flatness. I think it also has a certain charm that it's very flat, but it still like looks like familiar enough to recognize like meat and flesh. Now we're in for the real classics, which is teeth paintings. I only made 2 of them, which is really like crazy for me. Like really lack of teeth painting right now. But I made this one with the black teeth. It was just an idea I had. My teeth series is very much also about that idea of enhancing bodies and kind of recognizing it, but also being kind of disconnected from it and dissociated from the sensation of that this is something that we all have in our mouths, which is kind of weird to think about if you like see this up close. And that's also I've done so many teeth paintings now that I'm kind of trying to get weird with them a little bit, which is why I'm doing like crazy colors, and I think it kind of enhances the experience of this connection, because it's like I recognize this, but I'm also obviously like not fully, like I recognize it, but I can't recognize myself in it, which I think is interesting to think about. I overall like this painting. I don't know. I feel like I could have done. I don't know. There's something missing, but I'm not sure what it is. Also, I lied. There's 3 teeth paintings. I forgot about this one. This one's called The Magician. I'm still into tarot, and I think it's very fun. And I was just doing tarot readings, and I was looking at my deck, and it's a really beautiful deck. It's the Toph deck, and I was like, I need to do something with this. So I made this like gaping mouth and tarot cards laying on the table with this candle. I don't know, I had a really pretty reference image that I took for this, where the only difference in it is that the table, where I edited it for this, and the only difference is that the table was covered in stickers, because it was actually my laptop. I like the cards were laying on my laptop, which is covered in stickers, and it would make a really busy, crazy image, but unfortunately I was not physically capable of painting it. So that's also nice. It's nice to kind of find these new boundaries of like what I can't do, and kind of know where my limits lay and where I still have things to learn. So that's interesting. I do wish I attempted it just to learn it, because I think it would have made a better painting. I don't really like this one right now. I don't think it's bad, but I don't know. I feel like it could have been better. And lastly, we have a very classy, very mindful, very demure. Lastly, we have a very classic in for my style teeth painting. Just regular old teeth. We have a little bit of that graphic element I've already talked plenty about with the arrows. It's called zie ze wel in Dutch, which means do you see them? Kind of means do you see them? Something along those lines. It's a little bit different, but it's hard to literally translate. I don't know. I like this painting. I think it's cute. I don't have much to say about it though. And those were all my paintings I made this summer so far. I hope you like those. If you like any of them in particular, you can look on my website, which will be in the description, and you can actually buy them if you're interested. I'm also making a lot of stickers and prints, so if you can't afford originals, do not worry. More stuff is coming soon, more like affordable items. If you want to stay up to date about me and my art, you should really follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on there, and it's where I post my art first. You can also follow me on TikTok and subscribe here on YouTube, of course. And thank you all so much for watching.